Dear learners, a warm welcome to all. In this session, I will be discussing about government's policies and programs related to dairy sector. The objective of this session is to apprise you regarding the importance, features and the profile of the dairy industry. I will be touching upon the important aspects of Operation Flood, the actual cooperative structure which is very successful as far as the dairy sector is concerned, as well as I will be briefly discussing about the different dairy development programs. To begin with, I will be introducing you to the dairy industry per se and as well as the dairy farming sector or dairy processing sector also. If you look at the dairy industry per se, the agriculture includes livestock as well as dairying. So, it is an integral part of a farmer's life or a human's life, because every day we come across the dairying aspects some way or the other. Every day to begin with, we consume milk, which is a produce of the dairying sector or the livestock industry. So, dairy sector itself is become a part of integral part of the human life. And if you look at the scenario as far as agriculture and dairy sector is concerned or the livestock sector is concerned, they have a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic means mutually they have relationship with each other. The agriculture supports dairying, the dairying supports the agriculture sector. A simple example is if you go for integrated farming or mixed farming type of rearing system, if you follow, then the waste of one which we call as agriculture byproducts or agriculture waste can be utilized for as a input to the dairy sector, and the waste of the dairy like the dung and the urine can be a good source of nutrients to the agriculture sector. So, mutually they support each other and they have a very good symbiotic relationship. Dairying is also very important for doubling the farmer's income, because it has a very good potential of doubling the farmer's income. Even if you go for dairying sector per se, or if you go for even processing sector, they can help the farmer to double their income instead of depending on only one source of system of rearing. You can go for an additional type of a small scale level, like maybe you can combine agriculture with dairying so that it can support you in generating income, generating employment, providing you nutritious food. So, similarly, if you go for processing also, instead of only selling milk, if you go for a small scale like dahi preparation or some kind of a product preparation like paneer, or which you can do it in the home scale level, then it can be a good tool to double the farmer's income. And it also strengthens the rural economy, not only the farmer's economy, it also strengthens the Indian economy as a whole. And it also is a very good tool for generating employment, be it a direct employment or indirect employment. It is also a very good tool for generating employment, and it is one of the important aspects of transformation of the socio-economic status of the farming community, and it also helps in sustainable and inclusive growth. If you look at the scenario as such in our country, then there are around 80 million households which rear two animals or so, one or two animals. So, if you look at the scenario, more or less you can see small scale or small holding or marginal or even landless farmers, they normally contribute significantly to this dairy farming sector. Though in the current times or over the maybe you can say the current decade, some kind of a commercial type of dairy farming activity is also coming up in a big way, but in general if you see, dairying sector is mostly on the hands of the small scale or marginal or landless farmers only. And we can be proudly we can say that we are the number one in milk production in the world, and we have almost reached around 200 million tons of milk production, and with an average growth rate of about 6%. So, this sector as a whole, livestock sector, is always having a positive trend as far as the growth is concerned. In spite of some of the maybe difficulties like our own indigenous or non-descriptive type of breeds or the desi type of the dairy animals, they are not that high producing. Even if you, as a whole, if you see maybe per animal productivity, if you see in our country, it's somewhere around 1,800 to 2,000 kg per year only. In spite of that, since we have large number of animals and more and more crossbreeding or crossbred animals are also there in our country, we are standing number one as far as the milk production is concerned, and it also generates a large number of employment on yearly basis to the farming community. If you look at the livestock census, this census is carried out every 5 years. In case of humans, we normally see that livestock census is released every 10 years, but as far as livestock sector is concerned, it is conducted every 5 years. And if you look at the 20th livestock census, which was released during 2019-20, we have a cattle population of 192 million heads, and buffalo also we have a significant number, around 110 million heads. Similarly, we also have a good number of goats, sheep. So in general, if you see the total livestock we have is around 535 million heads. Similarly, we have a large number of poultry birds also in our country. So farmers are also engaged in poultry farming sector also. We have around 851 million birds in our country. If you look at the product scenario, the livestock product is very, very important in our day-to-day life. Some of the essential nutrients like some of the essential amino acids, some of the essential fatty acids we can only get from the animal based products. So it's always suggested that you should have a mix of vegetarian products as well as animal based products, at least milk, so that you get some of these essential nutrients like the amino acids and the fatty acids. So if you look at the scenario, I've already told we are number one in milk production. The estimated milk production during 2019-20 was 198.4 million metric tons. And for the latest information, you can always visit Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying website, where the basic animal husbandry statistics you can find. And if you look at the per capita availability of milk, it is around 407 gram, which is comparatively higher than the world average itself. So we have a very good milk production in our country, and it can fulfill the requirements of the Indian human population. And regarding the other produce like the eggs, again we are number 3 in egg production. Almost we are producing 114 billion eggs, and meat also we have a significant contribution. Similarly, wool also we are producing around 36 million kgs of wool in our country. Now, the 10 major states which are involved in the dairy farming sector or dairy milk production sector are the Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Haryana, Tamil Nadu and Bihar. So they are the major states which are involved in contributing significantly to our country's milk production. Also not only the liquid or raw milk production, they also contribute significantly to the processed products as well. If you look at the dairy sector as such, its major characteristic is that it is produced by the masses. So large number of farmers are involved in the milk production or in the dairy farming aspects, because our indigenous breeds or even the desi type of breeds are not that high yielding. So we have adopted some breeding strategies over the years, like the cross breeding through artificial insemination technique, where we use the male genome of the exotic breeds like the Jersey and Holstein Friesian, and we try to cross it with Indian breeds and get a cross breed which have a better milk production capacity as compared to the desi or type of animal or non-descriptive type of animals, or the Indian breeds also. And if you look at the milk production in general, out of 100% milk production, almost equal contribution is from the buffaloes and the cattle, though buffalo has a little edge over the cattle, contributing almost 49% to the country's milk production. Cattle contribute around 47%, and the other species, mainly the goats and other species like the camel, also contribute to about 4%. And the Indian dairy sector is significantly, you can say that the cooperative has a significant effect on these dairy development activities. And you can see, because you can say that dairy sector is little bit organized, you can say, you cannot say completely organized, but comparatively it is better organized in comparison to the other livestock sector. So there are around 210 dairy cooperative milk unions in our country. And if you see the type of distribution of milk or utilization of milk, if you say the farmer is producing milk, almost 48% is consumed at the household level, and whatever maybe 52% milk is marketable, or it is being supplied to the either cooperatives or to the consumers, out of which also you can say the organized sector handles almost 40% of the marketable surplus, which includes the cooperatives as well as the private sector, and 60% is the unorganized sector. However, if you look at the trend over the years, slowly the cooperative sector is also gaining importance, and the utilization or of this milk is being streamlined. The process of distribution of milk and processing also has been streamlined, and slowly it's getting well organized in our country. And dairying is having a very you can say it's a very remunerative business if you do it in a proper and scientific manner, and particularly to the milk producers. And it can be taken up as a subsidiary activity or even as a main activity, but in general, if you see, it is mainly taken up as a subsidiary activity in addition to agriculture. But in some cases, people are again going to a commercial type of dairy farming also in our country. So slowly the dairy commercial aspect is also picking up in our country. So the main thing is that it generates a ready cash for the farmers. It's, you can say, kind of a daily kind of a income to the farmers, because in case of agriculture you have to wait for some period to harvest the produce and then get income from it. But in case of dairy sector, once the animal has delivered and started giving milk, then almost for 305 days, as far as cattle is and buffaloes are concerned, you can get a kind of a daily kind of a income in the form of milk from the animals. So there is kind of a fluidity where you can exchange the money, you can invest, and then you can get return on a day-to-day basis also. And out of this total income, farmers realize almost 60 to 70% of the consumer price. So whatever the consumer pays, almost 60 to 70% goes to the farmer. So other amount goes to the middlemen or distributors or to the cooperative society. One of the major advantage of this dairying sector is it can utilize the agriculture byproducts and crop residues, and they can be converted into a nutritious milk product. Now going to the policies, or you can say government initiatives as far as the dairy development is concerned, you can categorize in general as a two phases, you can say, like from the our independence to up to 1970, where it was you can say kind of an initial phase of stabilizing the dairy industry, and then after 1970 there has been many changes in the government policies, and different schemes were introduced, and those things also I would like to touch upon. To begin with, I will just briefly discuss about the dairy development schemes from 1947 to 1970. So the major schemes or the initiatives or the policies which were during that time was you can say can be categorized as like community block development scheme, the key village scheme, intensive cattle development scheme. So community development scheme mainly focuses on the development of a community as a whole. Maybe it covers you can say a bigger area, or you can say it covers the block per se. Agriculture or livestock was a part of that community development scheme, just to mobilize the input, support the farmers, and motivate them to take up the different activities, including the livestock sector, to improve their socio-economic status as well as generate some kind of a nutritious food for the human society. The other important scheme is the key village scheme, where it is a comprehensive and integrated program for the cattle improvement, and here each village was adopted, and which is having a population about 500 adult cows or buffaloes has been taken up as a village, and then this scheme was implemented. The main emphasis was to improve the livestock's production capacity or productivity as such. So how it can be improved? It can be improved by many ways. One of the major ways which affect the production is the genetic capability of the animal. So this scheme was mainly focused on improving the genetic potential of the animals, be it a desi type of non-descriptive animal or even the Indian breeds also. So how it can be done? Through selective breeding strategies, where very high producing animals can be selected and then bred, and then whatever progeny comes, it can again have a good productivity capacity. And through artificial insemination, because artificial insemination we use the genetic resource of the outside country exotic breeds like the Jersey, Holstein Friesian, which have a very high milk production capacity. So if you cross these two, the exotic breed and the indigenous breed, then you get a cross breed again which have a better milk production capacity than the desi type of breed. So artificial insemination technique is a technique which employs trained human sperm or the semen from the bull is inserted into the female reproductive tract instead of going for a natural type of service. And the next scheme was intensive cattle development project, which started in 1964, and it acted as an important instrument to increase the milk production through intensive integrated use of all required inputs. So there are different inputs required for the dairy development. So this scheme mainly focused on integrating and intensifying these required inputs, so that the farmers get these inputs in a easy and affordable way, and then go for a dairy farming which can be more remunerative. So it covered almost 1 lakh cows or buffaloes of breedable age with the facility of central semen bank, which was located on 4 regional AI centers, and there were trained stockmen were also available. Now coming to the dairy development schemes or policies from 1970 onwards, majorly you can say that maybe like Anand pattern of cooperative was started, the establishment of National Dairy Development Board, the Operation Flood schemes were implemented, and recently there are again many dairy development programs I will be briefly touching upon. The Anand pattern, everyone are aware that it is a very good pattern. It is a cooperative, successful cooperative pattern, you can say, with a three-tier structure. Basically, it was started in Gujarat, Kaira district. So a small milk producer cooperative union limited was started at Anand, and it was named as Anand Milk Union Limited, or Amul. Famously, you can say that its trade name is Amul. So why this was started? Because different private vendors try to exploit the milk producers. So they try to procure milk at a lesser rate and then sell it in a higher rate. So the consumer has to pay more, and the farmer will be getting very less remuneration. It was decided that we should establish some kind of a cooperative sector where different farming community can combine together and collect milk, process it, and sell it to the consumers. Mainly that was the spark from which this was developed. And the main aspect, the pattern of the Anand pattern is that the main thing is, one is the milk production, then procurement, processing and marketing, distribution of milk and milk products is the main emphasis, and it is mainly owned by the milk producing farmers themselves. So it is kind of a cooperative amongst the farmers where they join hands together. They involve in different activities like production, procurement, processing, marketing and distribution, and whatever the income they get, they distribute among themselves. So basically it was started with a 3-tier structure. At the village level it is called the Milk Producers Cooperative Society. At the district level it is named as the Milk Union, and state it's basically a federation which is more involved in policy decision and marketing aspects. So what are the major activities of the Milk Producers Cooperative Society at the village level? Mainly the farmers are involved, they are the milk producers. So the milk production activity, that is a farming activity, and milk collection activity is taken up at the village level. Once the milk collection has been done, it is tested, and based on the 2-axis prices, the payment for the milk is given. 2-axis prices is like the quality of the milk or the pricing of the milk is based on 2 major components. One is the fat content of the milk, and other is the solids not fat. Whatever the contents available other than the fat, it is tested, and the fat is also tested. So based on these 2 criteria, the quality of milk is judged, and the payment for the milk is given to the farmers based on these 2 criteria. So their other functions include they provide cattle feed on no cost, no profit, no loss basis. They also provide other services like animal health care, breeding, first aid facilities, artificial insemination facilities also, and collection and sale of milk and milk products, regular reimbursement of payment to the producers, and also help the members to increase milk production. As far as the activities of district cooperative union is concerned, mainly the organization supervision societies, a little bit on processing of milk and milk products, payment to these societies, marketing also they take up, as well as they also provide services facilities to the farmers, networking of the veterinarians to provide veterinary services to the farmers. They also undertake provide training and education facilities to their members as well as the society members. They also do extension activities, and they are mainly managed by the managing director. Now coming to the state federation, again they are mainly involved in planning, managing production planning, marketing, and then assisting the unions, training, consultancy services, and coordination between the state governments, central governments, and other funding agencies. Now this slide shows the Anand marketing pattern. The milk producer at the lowermost village level, then the society is there, then the district level union, and then the state federation ultimately do the marketing. There are around 210 milk producers cooperative unions and 22 state cooperative federations. Most popular are the Amul, Vijaya from Andhra Pradesh, Verka from Punjab, Saras from Rajasthan, and many more are there. NDDB again very important establishment. So it is established in September 1965 under the Societies Act, mainly to promote the projects of general public utility related to dairying, animal husbandry, fisheries and cold storage, and they also help to prepare feasibility studies and designs, to conduct research. And coming to the Operation Flood, it commenced in 1970. So if I summarize this session, in this session I discussed mainly about the important aspects of dairy industry, the importance of dairy industry to the farmers economy as well as Indian economy, the importance of dairying, the different dairy development activities or schemes from independence up to 1970, particularly with main focus on the Anand pattern and as well as the importance of NDDB. The remaining part of this we will take up in the second session. Thank you.